What's up, guys? This is the American Foot Channel, and I just wanted to go over the Champions League groups because we got some Americans in these groups. We don't have Americans in some of the groups and some of the teams. I just want to go over it because there's only one more round left, and I'm going to predict who's going to go through, basically. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Don't forget to do it. Why the heck not? Anyways, let's get started. So Group A is Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, Galatasaray, and Manchester United. Manchester United fumbled a big time 3-1 win, or they were winning 3-1. They fumbled it and they ended up tying 3-3. They have to play Bayern Munich next. And that's rough for anyone. Even if this Bayern Munich hasn't been as convincing, these guys have still won almost all of their games. They only tied one, which was this last one against Copenhagen. It's looking pretty grim for Manchester United. I'm kind of enjoying it, to be honest. Who's going to go through in this group? It's rough, but I think Galatasaray is, because Bayern Munich is going through, obviously. They've got 13 points. I think Galatasaray is going to go through as second. I think Copenhagen is going to go through as third. I think they're going to tie. And I think Man U is just going to, probably by a pretty narrow margin, I think they're going to lose to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's not that good, but I think they're still going to beat them. So I think Bayern Munich is going to top the group and Man U is going to be bottom of the group, which is insane. But that's what I think is going to happen in that group, to be honest. I mean, if you guys think something else, then just let me know down there. But that's what I think is going to happen. And then Arsenal, PSV Eindhoven, Lens, I don't know how to say that, and Sevilla. Sevilla is somehow out already, which is insane, to be honest. I don't know how Sevilla's out that fast. It looks like they want to go into Europa League, and they're gonna have to win their last game against Lens to get into Europa League. Yeah, win will pretty much do it for them, which is insane that they always end up in Europa League. I just can't believe that. But then we have PSV Eindhoven, who beat them in the last game, who actually have 3 Americans in them, and Des got the assist for the first goal, and then Ricardo Pepi, my man, he got the goal to beat Sevilla. Just amazing from Pepi. I mean, the kid, that dude's got the dog in him. He gets left off the World Cup, comes back, scores goals. He gets put behind Luke de Jong, which is understandable because de Jong is the captain and scores a lot of goals for PSV. But he comes in off the bench and he scores in this crucial game. I mean, you gotta love the kid, man. Crucial goal puts PSV Eindhoven through to the next round, and Arsenal, who topped the group. Arsenal, pretty good team. And that leaves pretty much just Lens and Sevilla fighting for Europa League, which I think Sevilla's going to end up getting that in the end. But, man, Ricardo Pepi, I mean, it's just incredible what he's done. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. I think he's kind of underrated. I think Ricardo Pepi has a really high ceiling. I look at him, I'm just like, man, this guy has potential to be like a really good forward. Like, I'm talking about like 10 to 15 goals, like in the top 5 league type of forward. Like, he has that potential, in my opinion. Damn good player, Ricardo Pepi, but unfortunately he's been benched, and like I said, I understand. You got Des, who's a starter in that team, and then you got Tillman, who usually comes off the bench and he responds. He gets goals and all that. But for Ricardo Pepi, it's hard because he's behind pretty much a legendary goal scorer in the club, de Jong. So it's rough for him. But I mean, him scoring important goals like this, it's a big deal, man. And that kid never gives up. And I absolutely love that from Pepi. He's a brilliant player, honestly. Still only 20 years old, man. There's a lot still left in his career that he's going to do. And mark my words, he's going to be a top player. Group C, Real Madrid, topping it already, 15 points. Napoli, Braga, and Union Berlin. Union Berlin has an American, Brendan Arison, who he's not been good at all this season. Not at all. Arison has not been a good player this season for Union Berlin, and he really wasn't for Leeds last season. The drop-off for Brendan Arison has been insane, to be honest. It's kind of hard to comprehend. I mean, we know what kind of player he is. He just runs a lot, he fights. He's a good player, he really is, but I don't think he has a skill set to play in a good team in a good league. Maybe he could, thrive in the championship. I don't know. It's a pretty physical league. He might just get bullied the whole time. He could. I think he does have potential to play, in a decent German team, maybe lower bottom half. But I mean, his growth is stunted in the last couple of years, and it's kind of a shame, but I think Union Berlin are going to end up last in this group because they had the man advantage against Braga, and they still couldn't beat them. They're still tied. Yeah, they're not getting out of this. They have to play Real Madrid in the last group too, and Ancelotti tends to play the best he's got in Champions League. He doesn't really take that easy at all. Real Madrid, who it's kind of weird because they haven't been as impressive, but they have at the same time. It's probably a lot of it has to do with Jude Bellingham. Yeah, they topped this group like nothing. They beat Napoli 4-2. I think Napoli is definitely going to go through a second place, and I think Braga is going to go to Europa League. I think that's just how it is. You know, it's too easy for Real Madrid in this competition most of the time. And for Union Berlin, it's the first time they couldn't get a single win. They're probably not going to get a win in their last game when they have to play the best team ever in this competition. Yeah, they're not going to do that. So it's a shame for Brendan Eriksson. Group D, no Americans there. Although I do think Brendan Eriksson should probably go back to Salzburg. Real Sociedad are basically going to battle for the top spot in this group. Real Sociedad has been pretty good in this competition. So I think they're probably going to top it. Inter second. Salzburg, I think they have to play Benfica, who fumbled a 3-0 lead against Inter. I don't know how the hell they did that. But I think Salzburg's going to hold them off, and I think they're going to go to Europa League. And then Group E, who was pretty fun group to watch, to be honest. Atletico topping it. I think they're going to top the group. Lazio's already going through. And then Feyenoord, obviously, with 6 points to Celtic's 1. They've got the Europa League. Celtic has an American, Cameron Carter-Vickers. Celtic is not a Champions League team at all. It's kind of a shame. It'd be pretty fun if they were, but the Scottish League just is nowhere near the level of these other leagues that these other teams come from. They're just not. So it's kind of a shame. You know, it would have been cool to see Celtic do something, at least fight for the Europa League spot, but no, they got dusted, man. And Feyenoord's a decent team with Mexican Santi Jimenez. They're going to go Europa League and cause some havoc. They're probably not going to win Europa League, to be honest, but they'll cause some damage for sure. But yeah, this group's already decided. It's not much to talk about it, right? Then we look at Group F. This is a good group. Group of death, and it's kind of lived up to it. We got Borussia Dortmund, top spot. They've already made it. Giovanni Reina doesn't get any playing time. It's a shame. It looks like Terzic doesn't trust him. He's a good player, and he's responded when he comes in usually, but he's gotten no game time this season, really. Dude needs to leave on a loan in January for sure. It's a shame because, you know, his team topping the Champions League group, you know, it's been great how they did it. They beat AC Milan in San Siro 3-1. AC Milan, who has Christian Pulisic and Yunus Musa, obviously. Hope you guys saw my video of me going to that match. But I mean, it's a shame, man. Milan has not been good in the Champions League this season. They've only got one win. They haven't really scored many goals. Pulisic has been decent in some of these games, but not good enough. Milan just has no midfield. They have a lot of injuries, so it's going to be rough for them to make it to the next round. AC Milan have to go beat Newcastle United in the next round, which will not be easy. They're both tied on 5 points. Will they do it? I don't know. It's going to be rough, man. Newcastle's a good team. PSG has to beat Borussia Dortmund, which I have a feeling they're going to do it. I have a feeling they're going to beat Borussia somehow. And I think Borussia's going to go through. I think PSG is going to be second, probably just win by a narrow margin. I think, it's a rough one to call, man. I think Newcastle's going to go to Europa League. I think AC Milan's going to flop and get knocked out. And I think that might even be the end of Pioli, which is a shame. He seems to rate Pulisic a lot. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. It's going to be hard. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'd love to see Pulisic in the next round, or even in Europa League, man. I'd love to see that, but it's going to be rough, bro. It's going to be a rough one, and I don't think Milan are going to pull through. So it's a shame. We're going to lose him being, and we're going to have Gio Reyna in the next round maybe, but he might not even play because the coach doesn't rate him. So it's going to be kind of rough, you know, for Americans there. Yeah, it's an absolute shame, but I think Milan are going to end up fourth in this group. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. And then we get the next group, Group G, Manchester City. I mean, when weren't they going to win it? But come on. And Leipzig finished second. And then Young Boys is going to finish third most likely. And Red Star, they're going to end on 1 point, which is what they have. And it's not really a Champions League team, to be honest. No offense, Red Star. You guys got some great fans. But yeah, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Group H, Barcelona, you know, they're already doing their thing. They're through for sure. I think FC Porto's going to probably finish second, Shakhtar third, obviously, because Antwerp, once again, another team that does not belong in Champions League. 0 points. This team actually has an American too, Sam Vines, but for some reason his club forgot to sign him up, and so they didn't register him to play in Champions League, which is insane. And he didn't play a single minute. You know, I'd be so pissed if I was him in that club. But they didn't belong in Champions League either. But I mean, it could have been cool. Our boy Sam Vines, even though I don't rate him, I don't think he should be on a national team. He could have been playing against Barcelona and against Porto and Shakhtar, two other big teams in their respective country. That would have been great. But yeah, guys, that's what I think is going to happen in this group stage. You know, I just want to do a little prediction. It's a shame because we're only going to have. Well, I mean, PSV has 3 Americans, so we're going to have 3 Americans there in the next round. We're not going to have Union Berlin next round. At least we're not at all, actually. They can't mathematically make it. I just went over that. But they're not even going to be in Europa League to watch them there. Celtic is out. We're not going to have Celtic. Borussia's through, but Gio Reyna's barely going to play if he even stays there, which I kind of hope he doesn't. I hope he goes somewhere where he could play a lot. He deserves it. He's a good player. AC Milan, I don't even think they're going to finish third. So no Europe for Pulisic and Moose anymore, which is a shame. Manchester City technically has an American in their books. Zach Steffen, who the hell knows what happened to him? Just fell off the face of the earth. I hope he makes a comeback soon. At least goes back to MLS or something. And, you know, Antwerp, they were done from the beginning. So, but yeah, guys, that's just my little prediction. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm full of shit. And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to like the video too if your team made it to the next round of the Champions League. And you'll have a good one.